My name is Angela Guerra. My husband Paul and I are Peace Corps volunteers. We've been in Palanai, working in a small village in the eastern highlands that had no electricity or phones. It has been an amazing time, and they taught us so much more than what we taught them. But after 2 years, we'll soon be on our way home. Unfortunately, a strange illness has swept through the village, and that may delay our departure. The symptoms come on suddenly, and the sufferer is stricken almost immediately. That's why I'm recording this, to document what is happening here. My husband has been down with whatever this illness is since last night. He's dizzy, he's feverish. I'm really starting to worry. Paul? Are you all right? Why are you looking at me like that? I'm with a group of survivors and we're on foot, heading into the highlands. Paul was so feverish he was out of his head. It's like he didn't even know who I was. He attacked me and tried to bite me. I ran for help, but it was insane. People were screaming and fighting and crying, and this little boy, he couldn't have been more than 10, leaped on me and tried to bite me. I pushed him away, and a grown man, chopped off his head with a machete. Oh my God. What is happening here? Some said that the people who had lost their minds were dead. Dead! Like zombies. What? I went back and tried to find Paul, but he was gone. And I have no idea what happened to him. We lost one of our group last night, Bill. He was sleeping right by the fire when he was attacked. She looked like an old woman, but she moved so fast. Half her left arm was gone. You could see the bone, white in the firelight. And she made the most terrible, growling, gurgling sound. Blood ran down her face, and she still had Bill's flesh in her teeth. Zico hit her in the head with a shovel. But she got up again, and he hit her again and again, until finally he had to decapitate her. She looked like she was 70 years old. Most of her clothes had been torn off. Some say it's Kudru, that cannibal disease, but how is that possible? These people are dying, and they are resurrecting. Well, Bill, he was badly hurt, and he was afraid the disease would take him, and he didn't want to become one of them. So he grabbed Gabrielle's shotgun and put it in his mouth, and the sound was so loud. We knew it would attract other infected, so we ran into the dark, into the jungle. There aren't very many of us left. I had just about lost all hope when I saw it. Some kind of research facility. John went running for it, and that was a mistake. Something came out of the woods and attacked him. It was huge and covered in these festering boils. I'd seen some terrible things, but nothing like this. We beat the poor creature down, and Zico split its skull. John was badly hurt, barely alive. He begged me to put a bullet in his head so he wouldn't resurrect. I couldn't do it. I couldn't. So I handed him the gun, and oh, Jesus. After that, I just lost it. I screamed. I swore. I was so goddamn angry. And that's when a man came out of the facility. He heard me cursing, so he knew I wasn't sick. He was so surprised to see us. His name is Dr. Kessler, and I know I should be grateful that he took us in. But there's something off about him. He's involved in some sort of research project, but he seems very evasive. He says we can't stay long as he doesn't have enough food for all of us. Tom wants to force the issue, but I don't trust this Kessler. The people of Paul and I are so kind. In the village where Paul and I were assigned, they lived such simple lives. They lived in huts and grew their own food. And I taught them how to read English and do simple math. And in the evenings, it would be time for talk story. We would all tell stories. It's a big tradition here. Once I showed them pictures from home, of LA. And they saw 2 homeless men on Hollywood Boulevard, crude signs propped between their legs. They asked me what they were doing, and I told them they were homeless and they didn't understand. The concept made no sense to them. How could they be homeless? They said if I would bring them here, they would build them huts and plant them gardens, and their generosity was so genuine, it made me cry. Is our society really more civilized than theirs? What do I have to teach them? We knew we couldn't stay with Dr. Kessler. We asked him to come with us, but he's determined to stay. I don't know, maybe we can send help for him once we reach Henderson. There's a military base there, and if there's anywhere that's still safe, that's probably it. The rain has been steady. Oh, and it's coming down harder, and the river is starting to rise. We're all worried the road will wash out before we can make our way there. Oh, the mosquitoes are eating us alive. Tom seems feverish, and I see how the others are looking at him. He says he hasn't been bitten, but this is clearly a bloodborne disease. Couldn't it be transmitted by mosquito? I mean, why would it be any different from malaria or West Nile virus? And if that's true, we all might have it, and any one of us could turn at any moment. When we woke up this morning, Tom was dead. He hung himself. It was so horrible. But the rain was coming down so hard and waters were rising, so we didn't have time to cut him down or bury him. I didn't think we'd make it here. Mud was roaring down the hills like black lava. I never knew a mudslide made so much noise. There were boulders bigger than cars, and the trees were cracking and snapping. It was terrifying, and with the pounding rain, we had to shout to even hear each other. We barely made it to the ferry, and the undead were everywhere. Military planes are flying overhead, but where are the soldiers? Where are the authorities? Maybe we'll find some answers in Henderson. The people here in Henderson are terrified. They know as much as we do. Clearly, there's no stopping this. The military instituted martial law, and part of the city has been quarantined, but it doesn't seem to be helping. The infection just keeps spreading. The dead wash ashore and rise up and attack like wounded animals. The soldiers try to put them down, but there are so many. They have no idea what's happening either. They're getting conflicting orders. No one seems to know who's in charge. It's crazy. People are getting desperate, and I'm really afraid. Most of the soldiers are so young. They're as terrified as everyone else. I'm here with a group of survivors hiding out here in an abandoned store, hoping that the army will send in reinforcements and finally get the upper hand. Some say that Henderson is lost, and that soon the few survivors left will be at each other's throats over the last food and water. But I don't know about that. There's a deep sense of community here, and not everyone has given up. There's a doctor, Dr. Cecil, who set up a field hospital. I'm doing everything I can to help him, and we're making a difference. That's why I joined the Peace Corps, to help people. So that's what I'm doing. Besides, it's better to keep busy. When I close my eyes and try to rest, All I can think about are all the horrible things I've seen. I have too much to do to dwell on any of that. I have people here who need me. This is Angela Guerra, and I'm leaving this audio diary just in case something happens to me. The military base is in trouble. You can hear alarm sirens going off and all kinds of explosions. I thought they would help us. I thought they would protect us, but they can't even protect themselves. If you find this recording, please get it to Mike and Blanca Guerra in Woodland Hills, California. Mom, Dad, I know you didn't want me to come here. I know you didn't understand why I wanted to leave LA and join the Peace Corps. I'm sorry I disappointed you. I wanted to see the world, have an adventure, make a difference. I'm so sorry.